Welcome back. It is Monday after what was a very long and strenuous week. I'm so glad you are here with me to spend a day or two or three with me. We're going to see how this vlog evolves over time, but I'm just excited to be back in front of the camera and getting some things done this week. Last night we had our first small group meeting for a different small group within our church that my husband and I are actually hosting. We are the owners of it, so to speak. And it is a multi-generational, different walks of life, married, singles, everything in between group that focuses on learning and bonding together, but specifically our content is actually the sermons of our church, which I thought was a really interesting approach and completely different from the small group that we are also still in that has kind of evolved into our life group, our family in Minnesota, our church family. And so my husband and I have spun off and started another small group within this new realm of small groups within our church. Anyway, all of that to say, we had everybody over last night and it was an absolutely lovely start. I have a lot of positive feelings about the group as a whole. Everyone was willing to share and be open and have conversation, and I think it's going to be a really great thing. All of that to say, because we had that group over last night, our house is clean. My office notwithstanding. Our house is clean. And we have life group on Tuesday, tomorrow, and which means dinner plans kind of get wonky. So I looked at my husband yesterday. We do weekly planning to figure out, like, what does each of our weeks look like? What times will we get to spend together? What events do we need to know about? Like, for example, this week is life group, and then on Sunday is life group, and we just, what is our date going to be? What is our Sabbath going to look like? Things of that nature. And I looked at my husband and I asked him the question I ask him every week. It's, what do you want to eat for dinner? And he goes, we had such a chaotic week last week. Why don't we just order in some food this week? My husband has never said those words to me. Ever. Ever. And I was like, I'm sorry. You're telling me that I don't have to cook this week? I'm in. I'm absolutely in. So we determined that there were two places that we were going to order from this week. One is like a meat place to just get some like good smoked meats and my favorite Brussels sprout dish on the face of this planet. And I was like, yes, give me the Brussels sprouts, fantastic. And then the other option is our favorite pizza place, because when we order pizza, it's not like a one night pizza dinner thing. We order one large pizza, maybe one large pizza and one small pizza, depending on the flavor vibe that we're going for. And then that pizza literally lasts us a week because we don't just like overconsume the pizza. We have like a couple of pieces and then we're done. Or we have a couple of pieces and then I make like roasted vegetables. So we have nutrition, right? So ordering pizza literally will last us a week. And so all I gotta do is pick up food this week. That's all I gotta do. So I don't have to clean and I don't have to cook. What am I gonna do? We're gonna find out. I will always find ways to get myself into trouble. And by trouble, I mean it's time to conquer some organization projects. It's time to conquer this office. It's time to content plan and actually, get the ball rolling and get ahead of things. And it is fitness week. It is fitness week. Last week, there was not so much fitness because I was running a doggy daycare and it was a lot of fun, but that little dude was a lot of work. He required a lot of supervision. And so I ended up exhausted by the end of the day from just carrying a 10-pound dog, a weenie dog, up and down the stairs a bunch of times. And I didn't get a whole lot of fitness in. So we got steps because I got a step goal. It's going to be freezing cold some days and not so cold some other days. I'm hoping I can get outside. All of that to say, welcome to my week. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Here's what I know for sure. Takeout food, dinner. Tomorrow at Life Group, we might be doing pancake dinner because I happened to suggest it. It's also the start of Lent this week, the Christian season of Lent. And that I still have to figure out what I'm doing for that too. So all of that to say, there's a lot happening. I'm very excited that you're here to share it with me. All right, my friends, I ended up at 3 different places picking up seemingly random things, but I got what we needed for the week and a little bit beyond. I can't wait to share it with you. So first I went to the really bougie grocery store, our local co-op. And at our local co-op, I went because I needed some spice refills. So I got dill. back up, reverse. Why I like to go to the fancy store is they have an entire aisle of bulk grains, nuts, spices, bee pollen, cacao nibs, all organic, as many local as they can. It's really incredible. So when I need new spices, I just go over there because I have my own containers that I got in like bulk quantity and labeled them and stuff myself. So I don't need a jar of dill. I need dill to put in the jar. So that's exactly what I got. And I use dill a lot. So I got this much dill, an unknown amount. I got myself thyme because I noticed thyme was running low as well. And then I got myself rosemary. Now, I need y'all's help because I noticed that rosemary is always sold in these long grains. Is there a world where, like, maybe I could just crush it up in the bag, where I can get smaller pieces of rosemary? Maybe I'll just crush it. It appears that I can do that. Never mind, I answered my own question. The reason I ask is because I almost exclusively only use this on pork. And when I do, I feel like encrusting it in a heavily spiced way texturally is not so good. I could be wrong, but I was like, why can't I get it to be like a finer milled rosemary that I can sprinkle on top of things like my onion salt or granulated garlic or whatever. So anyway, I got those 3 things. And then I got Brussels sprouts, organic Brussels sprouts, because if we order from the place I think we're gonna order from tonight, we're gonna get my favorite Brussels sprout dish that comes with this amazing glaze on it. And so what I like to do when we order it to come home is I roast up my own secondary set of Brussels sprouts and I combine the 2 because it's usually pretty sopping in this sauce. So if I take the freshly roasted ones and put them in with the crispy ones, then it kind of distributes things a little bit more. You get a little bit of fresh roasted alongside the crispy, which I presume might be partially fried or at least drenched in oil or whatever. So it kind of evens itself out. And then I think I bought this at the fancy store. Safe Catch, which is low mercury, wild caught, had these on sale. They were 2 for $5, which of course isn't cheap, but like wild caught canned salmon is not cheap either. So it's 90 calories and 18 grams of protein per packet. I figured I could throw these into one of the vegetable-based things that I'm gonna be making this week. One thing I did discover at this store that I did not buy, but I fully intend to, in their fish section, they have a frozen freezer, and the words tuna poke cubes caught my eye. And sure enough, I looked in there and there was a whole flat section, like looked like this but bigger, like of vacuum sealed plastic of raw tuna cubes. Now, what I learned in Florida over a dinner conversation one Sunday afternoon was that in order for something to be considered sushi grade salmon or tuna or fish, it just has to be deep frozen for a certain amount of time to make sure that all those germs are out of there. And the way that I held this for about, 20 seconds while I was looking at it, the way my fingertips were feeling told me that this was in fact a deep freeze that it was sitting in. So I think I found poke grade tuna locally, and I'm so excited about it. So that's not today's adventure, but that adventure will be coming very soon. Next, I went over to good old Lunds & Byerly's where I got buy one, get one free. Almost everything I got was buy one, get one free. Mini cucumbers for a Mediterranean salad I plan on making. Buy one, get one free dill pickle salad kits. I've been loving dill pickle salad kits. I've been loving salad kits recently. And my husband has been eating them too. So this is, again, a great option, hot, cold, whatever. And then I bought this Power Blend, Man's Power Blend Superfood, Brussels sprouts, Napa cabbage, kohlrabi, broccoli, carrots, kale to use in a saute pan with the miso salad dressing that I am craving. I went out and bought miso last week and I haven't used it yet and I'm craving it. And what's really good about that is miso is a fermented food. And if you've been following along with any like gut health information, and you've heard me mention it occasionally on this channel, admittedly, I'm not good at ingesting multiple fermented foods, but fermented foods are good for you. The one that I primarily ingest is kombucha, but I wanted to expand my horizon. And I know that miso is a fermented food, and that is something I actually enjoy, so that's great. That actually leads me to my next purchase, which could be disastrous, but it is a fermented food that keeps coming up, and I found it in a dill pickle flavor. So meet my first go at sauerkraut. This is the Kraut brand. I'm sure you've seen it in stores. It's pretty much everywhere, but Lund's had dill pickle kraut. Now, I was always under the impression that sauerkraut was spicy, which is why I've never given it a chance. But I actually decided to Google it the other day, and I literally just Googled, is sauerkraut spicy? And the answer was no. And so I was like, that's interesting. And then when I happened to see this flavor, I was like, okay, I'll bite the bullet. I'll give it a try. But sauerkraut is so good for your gut because it's a fermented food. So is kimchi, but I believe kimchi is spicy, and I don't like spicy food. And like 16 servings per container, 1 ounce is 5 calories. So like you're not getting any caloric bang for your buck, but what you're getting is the good fermented stuff for your gut, which is amazing. The ingredients are green cabbage, salt, water, garlic, dill. I mean, I love it. I love all of those things. Why would I not love those things together, right? So we're gonna give that a try. Then the reason I went to Lund's and Prairies was because somebody at small group last night, one of our get to know you questions was, what is your favorite salty snack? And somebody said all dressed chips. And so I told a story about how longtime Diva in the Divine community member Rosie once sent me a box of goodies from Canada, and they included all dressed chips and ketchup chips. And I was like, so I was gonna say gluten-free pretzels, but actually I love ketchup chips. But you can't get them in America. And this woman is like, yeah, you can. They're on sale at Lund's this week. The brand Old Dutch, who I have been eating their crunchy sour cream and dill chips. It's the Old Dutch brand, same brand. Ripples, ketchup chips. I freaking found the ketchup chips. And they were buy one, get one free. So I got the all dressed chips too. So I have the Canadian snacks, but they're actually made in St. Paul. Old Dutch is local. How freaking awesome is that? Now I know that Minnesota is basically Canada, so it makes a lot of sense, but I'm so excited. So we will definitely be giving those a try. What else did I get? My husband's new favorite popcorn, microwave popcorn, was on sale as well, so I bought that for him. And then over at Target, I just bought some basic things. A little bit more tuna because I'm feeling fish this week. We've been eating a lot of meat, and so I'm thinking fish might be a nice switch it up for lunches. And I got chickpeas, and I got 2 containers of organic cherry tomatoes. And my goal is to put the chickpeas and the tomatoes and the mini cucumbers, and then I got some pre-sliced, because this is the week of convenience, y'all, pre-done red onion. I want to put all of those things in a bowl and put some feta cheese on top, some olive oil, maybe some lemon juice or lime juice, and some spices, dill, oregano, things of that nature, and have a really good Mediterranean salad. It sounds so good right now. So there's that. And then I also got the white onion for scrambling up an eggs in the morning. And then I got raspberries as the berry of the week because they were reasonably priced. I missed a couple other things. I got a mini orange juice because the miso salad dressing that I love is made with orange juice. I got some tea that was on sale. We got some peach orange and some peppermint creamy vanilla. That sounded amazing. And since we're gonna be having guests over on the regular now, I thought having some pretty standard flavored tea was a good idea. And then also at Lund's, I found this in the clearance bin. This is spring and mulberry date sweetened chocolate. And I had heard of this brand. I've never tried it. Why? Because online these bars of chocolate go for $8. $8. I found it on clearance for $2.99. So for $2.99, I was like, yes, I will give you a try, because heaven only knows the next time I'm gonna try a spring and mulberry bar of chocolate. So that, my friends, was my discombobulated, relatively healthy, but not entirely, grocery haul for the week. All right. I was gonna give you a first impression, but my husband opened them when he made lunch, and I had one right away. These are very good. These are very good. And something that's interesting, I think, is I don't think you can overeat these. because this brand specifically, these are very tangy. Like heavy on the tongue. So I feel like if you went like one chip after another, like I've had, I think 5 chips, including the one I just ate. And I think I'm good for now. And I'll come back to them later when the sensation has gone, you know, which is great. I love that I don't feel compelled to overeat them, but they're still very good. Very good. I'm so happy. So I was gonna do a first impression of that, but we will do a first impression. We will do a first impression of this. I'm kind of afraid to try it. I'm not gonna lie. I've always been afraid to try it. I've always been, ooh, sauerkraut, gross. But you just hear so many good things about what it does for you. Oh, it's stinky. It's stinky, you guys. I'm trying to open it. Oh, it's less stinky. Okay, it kind of smells like dill pickles. All right, here we go. Me willingly eating sauerkraut for the first time in my life. Ready? Easy. Oh my gosh, it's like eating dill pickles. I love it. It's great. What was I so afraid of all these years? Amazing. Oh my gosh. See, this is why you have to try new foods, my friends, because sauerkraut is so good for your gut because it's a fermented food. And I have been limiting my fermented foodness. Yes, yogurt is fermented, but we buy the ones that have sugar in them and whatever, right? Which is fine. Greek yogurt is still really good for you, and it is technically a fermented food. But like in terms of like the really fermented foods, right? There's miso, which I already told you I love. There's kombucha, but sauerkraut and kimchi are like the heavy hitters. And I've always thought that they were spicy. This is incredible. Now, do I like the other flavors? I don't know, but this dill pickle one, amazing. I tried a new food today. Y'all. The greatest Brussels sprout dish to ever exist. I'm so excited. That is so good. It's a little spicier than normal, but it's so good. So much so that I bought 2, but watch. I have a bowl. These are the Brussels sprouts from earlier that I roasted with just some avocado oil and a little bit of seasoning on it. They were roasted at about 425 for 20 minutes. Then I flipped them and then roasted them for 15 minutes more. And they are perfectly crispy. My Brussels sprouts, their Brussels sprouts. Yeah. Their other Brussels sprouts. Want one before I...
Then don't mix them.
Wait, what was your question?
Did you burn the sprouts?
Oh, no. They're crispy.
No. Do I think you burned the sprouts?
Oh, maybe. But I mean, they're no less burnt than those, actually. Look at these.
I feel like they're giving us less sprouts.
I ordered 2 because I'm obsessed with this dish.
Wait, where's ours?
One is it? Ours are at the bottom of this.
Oh, okay, they're already in
The little guys. The little guys are ours.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're not burnt.
No, they're crispy. Can I mix the other ones in?
Sure.
This is my favorite thing at the restaurant. They now have a different seasoning for them too. You have to specify which one you want. Chipotle.
With the little white cloves at the bottom of the... Yeah.
And voila. Extra Brussels sprouts. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have leftovers of this already. So good, y'all. They're so good. You will have to forgive the dishwasher sounds, but this is my breakfast. 1 egg, 1 serving of egg whites, 1 Sabatino's chicken sausage, which is 16 grams of protein in the sausage alone. Amazing. We've got some of the the Man's Salad Power Blend mix that I hauled in my grocery haul yesterday. Got some onions in here, and I got, for flavor, a little bit of my miso dressing scrambled right into the mix, and some feta cheese, and then raspberries. And this has almost 7 grams of fiber in just the raspberries alone, y'all. These might be, no joke, my new favorite berry. I think I'm starting to prefer raspberries over strawberries. Crazy, I know. Hello, my friends. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another day. Today's actually Fat Tuesday, and I just posted about this on Instagram. Long story short, do you have a Fat Tuesday tradition? For those of you that don't know, Fat Tuesday is the day before Lent. It is also known as Mardi Gras, down in New Orleans, right? But for me, traditionally, for my entire life, most of my life, when did we stop going to these? When I was 27, 28, 29 even? Maybe. So let's round up. Let's say 30 years of my 38 years, right? I spent Fat Tuesday at my Lutheran church back home because there was a pancake dinner. And it originally, I believe, it originally started as a fundraiser for the Boy Scouts that also used our church as a facility. And so they would cook, the boys would cook, and it would be a fundraiser for them, and we'd pay like $10 or $5 or something like that to come and eat pancakes on Fat Tuesday. And then I think, if memory serves, eventually the Boy Scouts stopped doing it, but the tradition lived on. And I think actually my father was one of the people who would go and cook this pancake dinner, and it would be a fundraiser for the church. So for as long as I can remember, the day before Ash Wednesday, which if you don't know, Ash Wednesday is the beginning of Lent, which is kind of a big deal in the Christian church, especially in the Catholic and the Lutheran churches. And I grew up Lutheran, for those of you that don't know. And so every year, my tradition is not the punchki, which is I know a big tradition for a lot of people. The punchki, which is like the big donut-like things that are filled with different flavors. I've never actually had a punchki, I'm not gonna lie. But my tradition has always been pancake dinner. My tradition has always been pancake dinner. So if you have any sort of Fat Tuesday tradition that you remember as a kid or that you have live on today, let me know in the comments below because I'm very curious to know. Anyway, all of that to say, we'll see how that today plays out. We woke up this morning under winter weather advisory, like winter weather warning. And the winter weather is supposed to start as we are slowly migrating out of our small group leader's house, our life group leader's house. I'm now going to have to differentiate life group from small group. Even though technically they're defined the same way, I am defining the small group as the group that my husband and I just started, small group, and life group as the group that we were already in that started as like a life group, small group, but is now like our family. So life group is the original group, small group is the new group. We have life group tonight. And I made a comment about, hey, you know, we meet on Tuesday. Do you guys want to come here? Where do we want to meet? Because our house is already clean. And then I made a comment about, or because it's Fat Tuesday, we can go out for pancakes. Nobody had any idea why I thought the pancakes needed to happen on Fat Tuesday, but it turns out that pancakes are my life group leader's favorite food. And so now it is entirely possible that we're going to her house tonight, their house tonight, and having pancakes while we do our book study of Practicing the Way by John Mark Comer. And do you know how happy that would make me to be able to go there and have pancake dinner on Fat Tuesday? Everyone else was excited about it too, or at least some people were excited about it, because who doesn't love pancakes? So that might be happening. But also, if the weather gets bad too soon, we might be meeting over Zoom instead of driving out to our leader's house. So TBD, in which case, if that happens and we end up staying home, I will still make myself a pancake because it's Fat Tuesday and I need to have a pancake. And I'm pretty sure most Fat Tuesdays, I have been giving myself pancakes. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to go back and see if I have a vlog of last Fat Tuesday. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, happy Tuesday. That's what's going on. I have to work out again today. I ended up doing a 5K yesterday, not quite a 5K. I did 3 miles yesterday. And I was so proud of myself for getting like 14,000 something steps. And then as I was calculating my steps, every week I write down each day's steps and then I do a running total because my goal is to get to 5 million by the end of the year, and or more or less, right? I'm shooting for 5 million and anything that I get on the way is good. And then I realized that I was so proud. I'm like, oh, I got over the amount of steps I need to get my 100,000 steps for the week. And then I realized I mathed wrong. And actually, I need about 14,000 steps every day in order to do it, which explains to me why I don't normally do the 100,000 steps in a week goal. I gotta kick my own booty. So my goal is to go downstairs and kick my own booty. And I should be like walking here while I'm talking to y'all, but the way I walk, I can't do it with any sort of subtlety, so we're not gonna do that. Anyway, I gotta work out today. I've got some more cleaning to do. If you look right here, see, I did in fact take care of those papers. So I got that checked off of my goals for the month, which is amazing. And there are other things in this room that I wanna do. And there's just a lot that I wanna do. And oh, I did one more thing. I did a thing. You ready? I did a thing. I deleted TikTok today. I deleted it. And what's interesting is I deleted it before I went to the App Store to check if it was back. Spoiler alert, it's there. You can re-download it. Originally, even with the whole like TikTok ban, is it banned, is it not banned? They did remove it from the App Store. So if you deleted it, you lost it. Well, it's back now. So there's that. So it really wasn't as big of a sacrifice as I thought it was in the moment when I was downstairs and I just finally had it with myself and hit delete because I thought, well, if I can't get it back, then I can't get it back. Turns out I can, but that's not the point. It's gone and it will remain gone until further notice, at least until Easter, because that's one of the things I'm giving up for Lent is TikTok. And I'm also trying to figure out how, and it takes self-discipline, but I am giving up for sure social media, but I'm still going to create for social media. So the only time I am allowed to open social media, I probably could delete Facebook, actually. Now that I think about it, nothing good comes from me opening Facebook on my iPhone. The only thing I really need on my iPhone, because they haven't figured out a really good way to do all the features for Instagram stories. This is literally the only reason that I'm keeping Instagram on my phone, because you know how there's like those links and things like that? You can't use a third-party thing, which is what I'm currently using to post actual content, like reels and posts. Those are all going to be posted via my desk or my laptop computer. But I can't post, you can post stories, like if you want to post individual pictures, and you can even add your own text to them on this desktop app that I have. I use one called Plan, P-L-A-N-N. But if I want to like do a link, like I literally just now, before starting to talk to you guys, somebody asked me for my favorite books on the hormone balancing and cycle syncing, which are in the Flow and Woman Code, by the way. I'll link them down below for you. But in getting those links for that person, I realized that one of them is on sale for Kindle for $1.99. So I'm like, oh, gotta tell Instagram. And if I didn't have my Instagram on my phone, I wouldn't have been able to put my Amazon affiliate link there. I would have been able to tell you, but I wouldn't have been able to direct you because there's no link feature. And so that's the sole reason. The sole reason, Instagram stories is the sole reason that I have to keep Instagram on my phone. So the bargain with myself is, I think I'm gonna delete Facebook. I'm gonna make sure I know my password, I'm gonna delete Facebook. But Instagram needs to stay around. But I only get to consume, because I also get my news content from Sharon Says So. Her word, her voice of concern tells me what I need to be concerned about and what I don't need to be concerned about, because I love her and she's unbiased and she just spews facts. Don't come at me if you don't agree, because it's a hill I will die on. She's spectacular. So I'm thinking like at the end of the day, when all is said and done, I can open Instagram, I can look at a couple of stories, see a couple posts, see what's happening in the life of my friends, etc. for about 15 minutes. Other than that, I only open the app to post, to create, not consume. So no Facebook, no TikTok. And the only reason, honestly, the only reason I still have Facebook is because I am a healthy coach from the Healthy app, and our paid membership group functions on Facebook. Honestly, if it wasn't for that group, I would not have Facebook at all. I would just let it sit and not access it anymore, but I need to for that thing. All of that to say, social media, the crackdown has happened. I can get into that more later or in a different video, but I think that's my crackdown. Ultimately, the things that I want to give up for Lent are gluttony, which is overconsumption, and sloth, which is laziness. It is the cardinal sin of the Enneagram 9, of which I am sloth. So I think that's what's going down. Now you know.